Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have an amazing video for you guys today that is just packed with tons of information about finance and budgeting for a family with a single income. So my husband is the primary breadwinner and he is amazing at what he does and he works so hard for our family, so I'm able to stay home with our daughter and I'm so grateful for that. And today I'm going to be walking you through how we budget for a family with one income and are able to finish with cash on the table that we're able to use towards other things that we might need. And my daughter is in the background, so I apologize for any added noise there, but let's just jump right into this video. And at the very end, I will be showing you our exact plan for how we're going to afford a home eventually in about a year to 2 years on a single income. That is going to be an amazing part of this video and packed with information as well. And so let's get right into this. So first, what you're going to want to do is you're going to calculate your income and then calculate how much you spend on expenses. So this expenses do not include just leisure spending, things like that. Expenses are non-negotiables. So first, calculate your income. So my husband makes around $1,400 a month, and then I make around $600 a month. And then I calculated all of our expenses. That comes around to about $1,400 a month. So that is how that is all done. I laid out every single one of our expenses, and then we're able to have $600 to spare for the month. So what you don't want to do with your extra money is to just not have a plan for that money, because usually in a budget, if you just have a bunch of extra money on the table and you do not plan for what you're going to do with that money, it all just gets spent on random stuff because it's just extra money lying around. So what I have incorporated into our budget to help us succeed as much financially as possible is to incorporate debt and spending. So for our debt, we're going to be paying $400 towards our debt this month, and our for our savings, we are going to try and save up money for some tires because we need some new tires. So we're putting $100 towards tires and $100 towards a vacation fund. On this side right here, this is where I track our spending for the month and make sure that we do not go over our budget for the month. So we've already spent a little this month already on day 2 or 3 of the month, and that is because we needed some new diapers, we needed to refill the gas, and I spent some of my own personal money that I had budgeted into the budget so that I don't dip into our credit cards or anything like that. So I spent $20 on a new dress that I really needed since I am pregnant, and it's comfier to wear dresses in my opinion, instead of being squeezed out by pants. And then I also bought some new Tupperware, so that was an exciting thing. But that's our budget, and now I'm going to be telling you the plan on which we are going to get out of debt and be able to afford a house in under 2 years and save up all the money necessary for a down payment with an emergency fund as well. So first, what we're planning on doing is getting out of debt, and we are pretty close to being out of debt already on credit cards and most other things as well. So we need to just finish paying off our credit cards, finish paying off our car. And so having a very strict budget is super important in the beginning to get all of that debt gone, because that is money that is not even technically not even your money at all. That's borrowed money on interest. So when people put money and just spend extra money and leave their debt on the table, they're losing money because they're paying interest on top of that debt. So you're going to want to cut down on expenses as much as possible, cut down on spending as much as possible, and get that debt gone. And that is the first step. The next step is to build an emergency fund. And depending on how much debt you have, you might want to do this step first so that you don't end up spending money that is in your debt if an emergency happens. But our debt isn't super high, so getting an emergency fund next is our next step. And for us, that's a $1,000 emergency fund is what we're going to start out with. And then after we have a house, we're going to hopefully expend the emergency fund to be $10,000. So yeah, the next step is to get an emergency fund of $1,000. She wants to add to the video. She's very excited. All right, so the next step in getting close to buying a house is to save up for the down payment. So this is another part where you want to be as strict as possible when it comes to saving. When you have any extra money, don't think that you're going to go maybe spend it on a vacation or anything like that. If you do want to have a vacation, you want to budget for that. Don't just start putting money in towards it without a plan on how you're going to afford it and how you're going to be able to also afford a house. So what we're going to be doing is hopefully putting toward $2,000 every month towards being able to save up for a home. And how we're going to do this is by expanding our income, which is very important if you're able to. My husband is currently working part-time right now, and he is getting a real estate license, so he's going to be expanding our income through real estate as well as other investments to be able to afford $2,000 a month. And that could be creative in any way that you possibly can. Be able to contribute to that, have your husband be creative and look at different ways. And if you as a mom have some extra time to spare, then you can also dedicate that time to expanding your income. So yes, that is super important. And so then set a goal every month on how much you're going to put into your savings for your down payment. And for us, that's $2,000. And for a home, you need around 3 to 5% is what you need to qualify, but we're hoping to get 20%. And as well as income goes, you need, for a house, typically the rule is about 30 to 40% of your income 30 to 40% of your gross annual income is going to be calculated by your monthly house payment. So if your monthly house payment is around $1,000 a month, that means you need to be making around $3,000 a month to qualify for a house. So that is important to know that they're very strict about that, because they need to weigh your expenses to your household income and make sure that it comes out into positives, because as a lender, they don't want to just lend to anybody. So make sure that your household income lines up with the property that you're purchasing, and try and lock in the best interest rates and the lowest down payment, and the lowest monthly payment by having as high of a down payment as possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. I hope you she's saying goodbye too. I hope you guys found this informative, and I will see you next time.